My name is May Hong. I am the speaking voice of Mira from K-pop Demon Hunters. And this is Moana Nui podcast. Signing off. Happy fans. Do it with me. Happy fans. Happy Hon.
All right. Are we live? Are we live?
Yeah.
Are we live? How about now? Oh shit!
no.
I mean, shoot.
Yes!
Children, hi.
I am swears.
Beep. And I'm canceled.
All right, well, welcome to
Gonna go out
the
with a bang.
Digital World.
Yeah.
I'm Sean. I'm your moderator.
Is the mic on?
Is the mic on? Am I not loud enough?
You have
Yeah,
to.
bring it closer. Yeah.
Sometimes I get too loud when I talk because I get animated, and I didn't want
Well,
to be
because it
like,
also goes into the.
just tell me to eat the mic,
Yes.
Yeah.
Lovingly.
No,
That's after dark. It's not 10 yet.
right? Those are the panels I'm
Yeah.
normally on.
Ah,
Send
it's
me
10 o'clock somewhere. That's true.
Goodness. I will try to keep it PG.
Yes.
So,
Thank you.
before we dig into talking about voiceover in the digital world and different components of that, I would like my panel to introduce themselves. So, going from my left to your right.
I'm dyslexic, so I'm assuming you're me. Me.
That's
I'm
also
not.
why I'm pointing
Okay,
at you.
yes, thank you. Hi, I'm Cricket. I'm Cricket Michelle. I use they, them pronouns. I'm a voice actor. I've been doing this since 2014. So I've been doing a lot of remote work because my personal life is a little more, my living situation is a little more all over the place because this economy. So I have a lot of background in remote setups as well as budget setups. So I will let you all know at the end, I do have QR codes for free resources about building a remote setup on a budget with links. I also have free resources on getting kind of started in voiceover, as well as resources if you are someone who has gone or is going through a second puberty and how that affects your voice physically.
Hello, I'm Dana Morgan. I've been voice acting since 2020, so I was one of those that during the pandemic I was able to lean into that, and I'm also do a lot of remote voice acting roles.
Hi, my name is MC Chris. I've been voice acting since 1999.
Nice.
I basically only play one character, and it's a bad impersonation of Chris Tucker. And I've been doing that for decades.
If it works, it works.
And so hopefully I get to continue doing that. I don't know what advice I can give you guys about setups or career path or anything like that, but hopefully I will say maybe two funny things this whole hour, and you guys will be like, wow, that was really great. He was really funny. And now I remember him. I used to smoke weed and watch him at 3 a.m. and disobey my parents and watch his weird cartoons a long time ago, and now I remember that he's not dead. And so that's what I'm hoping to accomplish here. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Melissa Flores. I'm actually not supposed to be on this panel. I just couldn't find a seat. I'm kidding. I'm mostly a producer and writer, but I also do voice acting on the side. So I've done a few video games, mostly what I do, and I do a lot of production. Mostly known for my work with Power Rangers. So I'm very honored and excited to be here.
Woo! And you've done voiceover on Power Rangers, haven't you?
Yeah, I've done a couple characters.
Yeah. Right. I googled you. I totally forgot to introduce my background. I'm a video game producer, and I have a BA in theater, and I've been voice acting for 14 years. So I kind of work on both ends of the spectrum, and I do a lot of voice and dialogue editing, and I also have built a home studio and everything from Zoom to Source Connect for doing recording sessions remotely. There's totally good ways and bad ways to do it yourself. but it's totally possible to get a good sound both in your hotel room, because I've done reads from Dragon Con, but also like in a very nice treated room. So there's a lot we can talk about. Cricket made more notes than anyone else I've had on a panel
I'm
before.
neurospicy, so I like spreadsheets.
Right, and I made like a quarter of a page of notes, and you made
Well, I have the
3.5 pages of notes.
I also have the 8-page document too. But
Some-
And I
that's
just
different.
watched them.
Yeah.
I watched them go back and forth. I'm like, that looks good.
So, I do want to talk. I mean, there's a lot of things I want to talk about, but MC Chris, yes.
Can I ask y'all to speak closer to the microphones? I'm up here because I'm deaf.
Oh, okay.
The background noise is
Okay.
Okay.
Is-
Oh, sure.
So is this better? Just
Yes.
for
you're
hearing.
easier to hear, and MC Chris is easier.
Got it.
Okay.
You're hard to hear.
I'm sorry. I will maintain my face towards the microphone.
This
so
is a good
or I
segue
can
for
go like
mic
this,
etiquette.
right? What? That too. But no, but you brought up a good point in that you've been playing essentially one character for 20 plus years. Do you have any perspective on maintaining a consistent sound for that long?
I don't know if I do or not. I have this weird voice that, I hated for most of my life until I started to make money with it, and then I started feeling like my weakness was actually my superpower. And I felt, I think over the years, it's only amazed me that all the abuse that I did to my vocal cords did not take root or have effect on me. And I'm sober now, but I smoked for 25 years, maybe, every day, all day long, and I still sound the same, thankfully. Sometimes people use that rasp that they get from smoking cigarettes to their advantage. And it wasn't cigarettes for me, in case you're wondering. But for some reason, my voice was able to stay the same over the years. A lot of the times, I would say one line that a character would say to get myself in the right place to play the character before I would start to read. I'll try to do it. I tried to do that once, like before I started to say my lines, and that would kind of put me in the right place and make sure I was doing the right thing. But there would always be some sort of line I would say before I started working to just put everything to where it needs to be. One line would get me there, whether it was with Hesh on C-Lab or with MCP Pants on Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I was always saying one little, almost like a kind of throw me into a trance line that would put me where I needed to be for the whole read. And that, thankfully, was pretty consistent throughout the years. I think, thankfully, I have a strange voice as is, and my characters are just like screaming all the time, which makes home recording a hoot. But it's definitely one of those things where I would have to kind of. It's not like getting yourself into character. It's almost like getting your voice into character before you start. What you're supposed to do, and it makes all the following lines a lot easier to do. You can't just kind of go into it. You just have to kind of set yourself in the right position and then go.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Misty, you're making eye contact.
You have a very lovely mustache.
Yes. Yes, he does.
Gracias. Now I forgot what I was going to ask next.
Oh man, put you on the
Making
spot.
me blush. So lead-in lines, which is partially on topic at least, but that's a really important point technically. And Cricket, I'm almost certain you have something to say about this. But like, as far as like within the scope of acting, and especially if you're trying to give yourself little hints, skills, things to use, tricks in your toolbox, lead-in lines are incredibly helpful for getting yourself into character. Do you have anything
Do I?
to contribute to that thought? Because I think that's really important.
No, it's a lead-in line is I've heard of it in a different way. I've heard it key phrase, but it's the same.
Yeah, I
thing.
don't know what it's called.
I don't either.
You can call it anything. Your moments before.
Yeah, I think it's interchangeable, but it's a phrase that kind of, especially if you're doing accents or you're doing a specific like body placement in your character voice, like the top of the head, like if there's something up here, or you're down growling something. Like there's you have a key phrase that kind of sets the character in or sets the voice or the accent. So that's super, super helpful. So.
And also not abusing your voice is like a really important thing. If it's something that you want to use and something that you want to have for 25 years or so, abusing it like I did, I think I was lucky that I don't sound like a gravelly truck driver right now. So I think it's really important to take care of your voice and to not smoke and to not abuse it in any way over the years, and then it won't deteriorate, because it is just like any muscle or organ. It needs to be taken care of, and it needs to be, lubricated.
Yes, hydration is key. Warming up. I come from also a singing background, so singing warm-ups too. Tongue twisters are great. Anybody who's done any kind of theater or performance, you always, we're back there go, windy once, windy wild weather, like back and forth, just doing those alliterations to kind of just wake up, because it's not just here, it's your whole body. This is the key part of the instrument, but your whole body is your instrument. So if you're stiff, if I always actually like physically warm up a bit, just stretch a little bit, because I'm also a little crunchy. So if I get in the booth and I'm trying to do something and it's like crunch, 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 crack, crack, like that's not helpful. But also just like warming up your voice, and then also warming down your voice. If you've done something very rigorous, like screaming something with your false folds like I did earlier, like really guttural, warming down your voice, vocal rest, those are really important. There's all kinds of things you can do for vocal health.
I think that's the first time someone's brought up warming down.
Yeah.
Cool. That's a good point. Like I'm like, oh yeah, that's.
I can actually show you really quick the warm down that I do.
All right.
All right.
Do it.
It's the phrase hung-ya, but you kind of sing it. So you go hung-ya. And what it does is those vowels just kind of really do it. Everyone together, let's sing. Hung-ya. Congratulations, you're part of the cult. But that's something you can do, and you can go up and down on the scale. You're welcome. You can go up and down on your scale, whatever scale is comfortable for you and your instrument. And that's a good cool down. Basically, it's because it's a muscle. You don't go into a gym when you haven't worked out in months or years or ever and be like, I'm going to just bench press 300 pounds. Like, no, you got to work up to it. So it's doing exercises or doing little vocalizations each day can be very helpful to kind of strengthen those muscles, especially false folds. I'm currently learning how to metal scream because it's fun. But that's also, you can use metal screaming as a way to do creatures and inhuman things. So definitely warming up, and then also maintaining. Don't just like warm up day of when you haven't done anything for weeks or months. So there's a balance to it. It is kind of a lifestyle.
I'm just going to go down my list of questions, but anyone is allowed to participate.
Yeah, don't let me keep talking, because I will talk in nauseam about this stuff.
I will say that if you're curious about what kind of warm-ups are appropriate, like the lovely thing about the internet these days is you can find any kind of vocal warm-ups for free, and they're very easy to find, very easy to do, and the information is out there. All you got to do is look for it.
It's also important to not talk. So maybe don't go to lunch before I record and talk with a friend for an hour. Or afterwards, if you have stranger voice, to like not talk for a little while. Like I'm a touring rapper is what I mainly do these days. I've been rapping for 20 years, and there will be shows where I'm performing without a voice, and I don't know where the voice will come from during performance, but I will be panicked afterwards. And there are things you can do. There's a tea that every performer swears by called throat coat. Yes. And then there's also opera singer I forget what it's called, but there's some opera singer lozenge that also people use. But
Oh, the blackcurrant ones?
yeah, if
Yep.
you lose your voice, there are ways to snap it back into place. But also the most important thing is to not use it if the time is coming where it is very important that you do use it. So definitely don't wear it out and gab too much before a record.
Yeah, because vocal nodes.
Fisherman's friend.
Yeah, vocal
Fisherman's
nodes
friend.
are serious business that usually requires like surgery. So don't take care of it.
Yeah, and
care
if
of
you've
yourself.
ever been in a situation where you've lost your voice and you're like, oh, I still have to go do a thing, find a way to delay it. To taking care of it is so important. Like I got a booking for a hair product brand, and I was it was in San Francisco for a big game developers conference, and I lost my voice. It was gone, and I tried to go back to my room, record it, and I was like, so I emailed him right away. I was like, hey, I don't have a voice. Can we delay the recording by like 3 days and just let me?
What's cool about
that.
the body, though, is that if you think of your body almost like a hotel, there are floors that won't work at all, but you can just kind of have things come from a different floor. I don't know how I do it. That's the only way I could explain it, but there have been times where I've walked on stage with no voice, and then I will just find a different part of me that has something to offer. So there are ways that you can get out of it if you're trapped, and I often am. But your body is amazing in the way that it can kind of compartmentalize your voice, and there are different places a voice can come from. You all heard the idea of like it coming from your diaphragm, but it can also come from your throat, from the top of your head through the back of your throat. There's lots of different places that a voice can come from. If one thing is shut down, go try a different place.
Yeah, vocal placements.
Yes.
So I'm like I didn't expect it to go this way. Does anyone have like a favorite vocal like care routine? It's like we mentioned throat coat, we mentioned fisherman's friend. Like, do you have like anything else? Is either ways to stretch, ways to rest, ways to just kind of keep it feeling good, especially like doing long sessions?
Lukewarm water is something to consider. Ice cold water will shock your throat and can sometimes knock it out. But if your water has just been sitting at room temperature, then it shouldn't have a negative effect. People always ask me before a show, how do you want your water? And I always say, leave it in the plastic, leave it on the floor. Don't put it anywhere. Don't put it in ice, because that can sometimes shock your throat and rob you of what you need.
For myself, like room temperature water, but then also a lot of times when I'm leading up to doing a role, having some warm tea to kind of just soothe my throat and everything. And then, of course, for me, I avoid dairy because that also can give some buildup and everything that can change your vocal pattern. So I will avoid like a few days leading up to recording to have no dairy.
I record a podcast with Master Shake, and he drinks tall boy Diet Cokes and has like 2 large coffees from 7-Eleven.
Everything you're not supposed to do.
He drinks it all during the record. At the end of our 2-hour record, he will sound like really raspy. He'll sound kind of like Phyllis Diller, and it'll destroy his voice before my very eyes. So caffeine is definitely something to avoid at all costs when recording.
It's random, but like there's once in a while where I've been in a recording and I have gotten a little phlegmy because I have allergies like nobody's business. You can hear them right now. And an apple helps, believe it or not.
Wow.
So
Yeah, apple, I believe there's something in the apple, mostly in the peel. It's like a pectin or something, and it actually loosens the saliva in your mouth, so you get less clicky, less like the mouth noise. So that's typically, if you go to a recording studio, you might see a basket of, and Granny Smith, I think, is the one that has like the highest amount. So it's usually a Granny Smith. They'll hand you like, you need this.
Yes.
Writing that down. Awesome. So it's the last weekend was a big voiceover conference in Dallas that I was at, and it was funny the amount of voice actors that are like, screw it, I drink coffee before. Like, if you drink coffee, just do it. And it's don't do the caffeine is the correct advice if you're trying to sustain your voice for a long time. But it's funny how many actors I've run into that are like, it's the way my voice sounds, and that's
There
the way
are
I'm known
people
for. I'm like,
that
all right.
that are like chain smokers that are really Billy West or somebody like that who are, really famous for being voiceover actors who do not take care of their voices at all.
Yeah.
And so there are always, exceptions to the rule, but definitely avoid all these exceptions and try to follow those rules if you can, because it will only result in a nicer tone.
Yeah, because my goal is to be June Foray and be working into my 90s.
Yes.
If you don't know who June Foray is, Rocky and Bullwinkle,
Yes.
she was Moose and Squirrel. She was Natasha and also the squirrel. Not a supernatural reference, I promise. Or is it?
on, Charlie.
Candy Mountain. I just dated myself. I'm in danger.
So actually, so the reason that was on my brain is for the massive amount of like social media that we have now, like between TikTok and Instagram, and if you use the bird one, that's something else now.
Everyone makes mistakes. It's okay.
So MC Chris, the last time, or like I want to say rediscovered you or re-knew about you because I think it was on TikTok. Like it was like, hey, I'm going on tour, I'm doing this and that, and I live in Austin. So I think you were there like a month ago. And I was like, oh, damn, he's touring. Cool. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Because after not watching Aqua Teen Hunger Force for a while, like it was off my brain, but it perfectly picked me out to be like, oh, you want to see this. So this is for everyone, but you're the reason this came to my mind is how have you been using digital media and an online presence to continue like what you do for work?
Well, it's something, I'm a small business, and so if you are a small business, you are dead in the water if you're not using social media, including Twitter, which is not, obviously the most fun place to be in the world, but you have to be in the marketplace and let everybody, as many people know as possible that you exist. What's really cool about TikTok right now is that it's filled to the gills with voiceover actors, and they are explaining their craft, they're talking about their lives. It's been something that I haven't really seen in all the time that I've been online, and I've been online since Friendster.
Nice.
Or Tumblr, and I really got my start on MySpace. But people on TikTok right now are there are podcasts about voice acting. There are so many different resources and so many different great places to find information about this life and how to do it, how to approach projects, how to approach not having anything happening at all in your life. So many people come up to me and say, how do I become a voiceover actor? And my reply is always take acting classes and make your own stuff. But it's really great to hear all these different voice actors and what their little tricks are and how little or how much they make, and it's interesting to find out about their lives. If you think TikTok is just young girls dancing, that is there, but also there are old people talking about their lives too, and there are voiceover actors talking about their lives in great detail. So it's a great resource. You can just go there and search the words voice acting and see what comes up, and you'll find so much stuff and so much information that I really have not seen ever before that app became popular. But it's definitely a grind, and it's definitely something I hate to do. I hate social media. My dream would be to be so famous that I didn't have to use it. But because I'm a very unknown, anonymous person, it's like you have to just be in it to get the word out about whatever you're trying to get people to experience, whether it be a concert or a show or a project or whatever it is. It's really necessary to start. And I know it can be so frustrating to start doing these things because you have no followers and you're not getting any likes, and you can definitely beat yourself up. But if you're consistent about posting 3 things a day and just making content, even though you're not getting a response, that's better than sitting on your hands and feeling like this isn't going anywhere, or nobody's watching my project, or nobody knows that I exist. Instead of experiencing those feelings and sitting on your hands and not doing anything, it's so much better to just get a little bit done, carve out an hour every day. We can get a little bit done and put some stuff out there.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, you'll feel better doing something.
Yes.
And
Always.
someone will engage with you.
And-
It might only be one person, but someone will engage with you, and then you've done your work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a positive number. That one person is a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
And it doesn't need to be perfect. I've had a long history of difficulty with perfectionism, and it has stopped me from putting out projects. It has robbed me of jobs, and I had to re-educate myself that it does not have to be perfect. It just has to be done. So if you have your phone and that's all you have, that's okay. You don't have to have all the latest recording equipment. You don't need all of that. Just get into the habit of finding the joy of creation, because then it becomes fun. When it becomes a chore, it becomes difficult. It becomes, you almost begin to resent it. And then you forget why you're doing it in the first place. So it's really important. This is me on a little soapbox from my personal experience of working with that, is just put it out there. Like they were saying, just put something out there, even if it's some short 30 seconds. It doesnn't have to be a 3-hour soliloquy. We don't have to do Macbeth. You could. Not going to stop you. I know.
I did that one time. Not Macbeth. I did all the sonnets.
Of course you did. But just getting it out there, because if it becomes more of a habit, you find more of the joy. It just, yeah.
It's also a muscle. It's like journaling. If you've ever gotten into a good flow with journaling, if it's something that you're doing on a daily basis, it just gets easier and easier, and you just get better at it, and it becomes something that's not such a chore or a strain to do. And it can be really hard to do, especially if you're depressed. So many things, just getting out of bed is difficult to do. But if you can work those muscles and get that stuff going and do it on a regular basis, then it won't be so hard to, it's basically like going to the gym. If you hate going to the gym, once you're at the gym, it feels great. So it's just one of those things where if you keep on doing it on a regular basis, it won't be so difficult to do.
Right. And you can live in that honest moment. You're like, I don't want to voice act today or work out today, and I'm pissed that I'm doing it, and I don't want to do it. Share that. If that's part of your social media post, like, I'm just going to do warm-ups, but I'm like, I don't friggin' feel it, man. People will empathize with you.
Yes.
It's incredible how, there's a lot of toxicity online, but there's a lot of support too. And I find voice acting, and specifically voice actors, are generally pretty nice people.
Some great advice that I saw recently was pretend that you're FaceTiming instead of pretending that you're making content, and that your content is like, this is my goal, is to make content, and I have to make content every day, and I've made a list of all the things I want to talk about. Making content can also just be like turning on the camera and talking about how you feel. It doesn't have to be therapy. It still has to be a consumable soundbite, but you can like he just said, you can let people know what you're going through and how you're doing. And you have no idea. It's really weird. You never know when something is going to work, and when something is going to connect with a lot of people, and then that can be the beginning of a lot of things. The more honest you are, the better off you'll be.
Yeah, that's really true. Melissa.
Yes.
Bonjour.
Hello.
So in relation to talking about like online presence and sharing stuff online, because I Googled you. And I know you said you're a producer too, but I was curious if you've ever come across actors that have worked in things that you worked on, or actors that you want to work with online via their presence.
All the time, of course. Yeah. Absolutely. Networking is a huge part of working in the industry, no matter what you do, whether you're writing, producing, trying to act, I also write comic books, trying to draw. Literally everything and everything in the industry is who you know and the relationships that you have. So if you are interested in a thing, go online and interact with the people that are also doing the thing. So get to know the voice actors. If you go to conventions, meet the voice actors, talk to them, ask them how they got started. Find other aspiring voice actors. The more you guys get together, the more there is community. When they start working and they find other people that are hiring, they start recommending you for people that are working. And that's how it works literally in every juncture, whether you're trying to write, trying to act, putting things together, it's all community. Everybody comes up together, and that's the great part of this kind of industry. So when I go online looking for talent, it really is like looking for who's out there, who I think is talented, who I haven't talked to in a while, who's looking for work. I recently did, a couple years ago during the pandemic, we couldn't do anything because everybody was stuck inside, and we did a series called The Unleashed, which was on Twitch, and it was a half Dungeons and Dragons kind of scripted RPG, but also it was a scripted series. And we had to do it at home, and it was half actors, half influencers, and a lot of voice acting. And so it was really interesting how we all had to be in our homes because it was the pandemic, but we had to film things. We also had to do a scripted show, but it was also D&D. But a lot of that was based off the power of influence and the power of community because it was aired on Twitch. And it was literally just because a bunch of us were all together. My friend Megan, who was an influencer, was like, I want to do something. I'm bored. I can't do anything. I'm going to get all my internet friends together and we're going to do something cool. So really, yeah, social media is an incredible resource if you just get out there and talk to people and get to know people.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of groups out there, like for voice acting. If you search on Facebook, Twitter and stuff, they have groups of both inspiring voice actors to professional voice actors that are part of it, and they, will give you advice. They also post a lot of open roles that they're looking for voice actors in those groups. So that's also a great way to kind of know of like whether they're indie projects or games or something. That is a great resource of building community. But then a lot of those people in that group will be like, hey, so-and-so will be a great option for this role that you're looking for. I know their voice from some of the stuff we've done in the group, and they'll be your advocate too as you build that community.
Yeah, Reddit also has great subreddits that are dedicated to that are, either there's like record this for free, I think.
Yes.
There's a couple of them. Or if you're just looking for stuff to put in a reel, it's a good resource just to just look and see who else is trying.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to say that a mistake that I've made a lot is that I've been at a lot of parties and with a lot of people who have positions of power. And I'm like, hey, I'm a voice actor, I'd love to be in one of your projects. Never say that, ever. The key to these conversations that you have at parties, and if you are in a social situation, if you're going up to somebody at a con who's behind a table, that is a great time to be like, I want to do this, that, and the other thing, what's your advice? You can just forget about social niceties. But if you're at a party or you're talking to somebody in a social context, you're having a cigarette with them outside the hotel or whatever it is, what you want to do most importantly is connect with them. And to show your enthusiasm about either something that they have taken part in or were a part of, or just find some point of connection. And you really just want to be like, oh, I love fishing. And you want to talk about fishing for as long as you can with that person. And then at the very end of the conversation, be like, okay, well, let me get your info or let's exchange info. You never want to solicit for work. You never want to talk about how you don't get hired and how nothing's going well for you. You don't want to be negative. You don't want to let them know that you suck. It's really important that you don't say, hi, I suck, and you never want to work with me. That's not what you want to do in a conversation. You just want to find that point of connection. It can be a video game. It can be anything that has nothing to do with work. And you want to let them know that you are somebody that they want to work with because you're pleasant to be around. It's a really difficult thing to do, especially if you're socially awkward like I am, or you're in your head thinking that you suck all the time. But it's really important that you not solicit in a conversation, in a social scenario. It's really important that you just kind of hang out if you can. Try to be chill and, get to know the person and find some point of connection that you guys can both kind of celebrate right there and right then. And then at the end of the conversation, be like, well, I'd love to keep in contact. IG is a great, non-committal way to exchange information without giving phone numbers. Can I IG you? What's your IG? What's your IG handle is a great way to connect with somebody that isn't feel like you're crossing a line in some way.
Yeah, I think it's like the going in with like looking for connection without the expectation of reciprocity.
Yeah.
Like, oh, hi, I've met you. Give me something. Like it's another resource, Discord is great. I'm a part of a couple Discord groups for voice acting. One in particular is called QueerVox. It's specifically a voice acting community for LGBTQIA people. And they are fantastic. And I have links at the end. Do not worry. But you can absolutely find those communities and even like niche communities. There's a community of voice actors for the disabled community, for BIPOC community, for queer community. So you can find those because each of those communities do face very specific challenges in the industry. And so it's good to have those people to also support you.
Excellent points. And it's one of those things
I was waiting for you to be like,
I was just nodding my head off, going like, no. It's staying positive. Not talking down about yourself. When you're going to meet people, just meet them. Just meet people with people. And I mean this in the least skeezy way. It's a long game.
Yes.
Not like the aim is to like, I'm going to use you to get a job. Like, no, you're going to meet people, and generally they're going to be great. And you might think like, oh, I'm meeting a composer. That has nothing to do with being a voice actor. You'd be surprised.
Yes.
Everyone is important, and everyone is part of your community when you're creative. I met someone 2011 that during the pandemic I messaged them. They worked in games, and I was like, hey, life's hard, man. Like, do you know of anyone that's doing any work? And I got a job just because of that. And I was like, that's insane. Like, that's 9 years later.
Yes.
Okay, so that's incredibly important to build friendships and to build community.
Yes.
Does anyone have a favorite way of, I swear this is related, but like favorite way of kind of presenting or branding yourself online?
Ooh.
Well, I think the brand will be thrust upon you if you're lucky. And that choosing your brand, it's really important to be yourself and to be true to who you are. I just wrote a song about Boba Fett because I liked Boba Fett. And I had the action figure as a kid, and my brothers didn't have it, and so I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. There was no internet pre, Y2K. And so I had no idea that other people thought the same thing that I thought. If there's one thing I've found out in my life is that you have a very private experience and then you find out that it's a universal experience. But I just did what was true to me. I loved hip hop and I loved Boba Fett. I combined the two things, and then I was called nerdcore. And that became a genre of music that a lot of people have, had a lot of fun with. But I wasn't like, I am nerdcore. And I just brought an opener on tour with me last summer, and he was doing that. He was brand new. He was saying, I am nerdcore, and I said to him, just do your own thing, pick your lane, and do your own thing, and let people label you yourself. It's really important to just be true to yourself and let the labels be thrust upon you. I think the more that you're like, I am this thing, I am the new court jester of nerdcore, or whatever title you want to give yourself, I feel like that will fall flat. And I feel like the most important thing is to just be yourself and let someone call you what you are. It wasn't until I realized that all my fans were nerds that I was like, oh, okay. In my second album, I said, okay, I'll write a song about nerds. I was informed by the audience response, and I let that kind of guide me into what I should be. And but I didn't know what I was. I just loved these things, and I combined them in a way that hadn't been done before. So I think it's important just to be true to yourself. And there's one point I wanted to add to socializing that I didn't say, that because I didn't learn this until like recently, and I'm really old, that the key to conversation is to ask questions, to listen to their responses and bring up their responses later on.
Yep.
It's really simple, but I didn't learn that till a long time of being on this planet and not knowing how to talk to people and
peopling is hard.
not knowing how to go on dates, not knowing how to make friends. But that is really the key. And it's cool that I can teach my kid that now when he's really young and he can have that information his whole life.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right.
A part of, I think, with like branding yourself online, like you can have, like there's two aspects of this I feel is, like you can obviously, like I have a web page, it's got a, a color palette, it has like I have a little tagline, like that's part of like a brand, I guess. But going off of what you said is, it's authenticity. Putting out content or stuff that you really love, you're passionate about, things that just like light up your soul. And the audience will find you and gigs will find you because they're like, oh my gosh, that person is so passionate about this. I happen to be my brother's second cousin's former roommate twice removed, is a producer on, you never know. And they'll just send them the link of like, oh my God, this person's has a rap about Boba Fett. You should see this. So it's just, you putting out like authentic content that reflects yourself. I think people who are looking at that, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like casting directors or producers or anybody of that professional capacity, they're going to see that. They're going to see that passion. You're not just putting it out to get numbers and likes. You're putting it out because you're part of the fandom. Yeah. You're part of that community.
You brought up something really important with talking about color palette and how you present yourself. Once you do know who you are and what you are, and once you've been informed by the audience what those things are, it's really important to be consistent after once you figure it out. Like I have kept I have a little cartoon version of me that has been on my t-shirts for 20 years, and I always just kind of like keep on doing that. I even keep my fonts the same.
It's a logo. It's like your logo.
I keep things, and I always write in lowercase letters when I write online or on social media. And I've just been really consistent about those things. Once you figure out who you are, stick to that, and have faith that that's like these are going to be your identifying characteristics. And it's a great way to let people know that it's you who's talking and not somebody else.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes.
Dana, Melissa?
No, I was definitely going to echo the same thing because for me, it's just like just being in my element, just stuff I enjoy. And, I got pulled into, I like to say I got pulled into a podcast because.
It happens.
Yeah. And then
podcast happens.
Yeah, and she was just like, yeah, you're going to be my co-host. And because of me doing that, that's how I got pulled into voice acting because we kept hearing from audience members like, yeah, Dana needs to get into voice acting. I was like, I've always heard that growing up, but I was just like, yeah, no. And then eventually I was like, yeah, I'm stuck at home. It's a pandemic. Yeah, let me go ahead and start playing around with this. And then that's like everything start coming to me as far as people are like, yes, you're branding what people see you as because of the stuff you do. So yeah,
it's really I'm not a particularly religious person. But pay attention to the universe or God or whatever you want to call it. It's talking to you all the time. I like to liken it to playing a video game, and you don't know what ledges to hold on to unless they're painted white, or you don't know which way to go unless there's like a light source. At some point, you're like, I'm going to head towards the light source.
Yep.
That's how you should be in life too. You should head towards this. The universe is always talking to you and telling you what to do, and when you're letting you know when you're fucking up, and just to pay attention to those things that come up in life when you're just like, okay, yes, that's a yes. I should be doing this. People are saying it to me. That's the universe telling me to pursue this. Or people are saying, I suck. I see 30 people saying I suck. Okay, I'm not going to be a boomerang enthusiast like I had planned, or whatever it is. Just pay attention to the feedback that you're getting from the universe.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only thing I would add is people are passionate about authenticity.
Yes.
So make sure it's something that you're truly passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
One of the biggest traps you can fall into is going after something because you think it's trendy.
Yes.
Or
Yep.
because you think it'll get the most audiences. And even if it works, then suddenly you're trapped about doing 10,000 TikToks about sourdough. And if you hate baking bread, you're screwed. So
Or your celiac?
yeah. So because that suddenly becomes your brand. Like I think there was a really good anecdote. There's a guy who's known for just live streaming work from his job, and then all of a sudden he got big enough that he quit his job.
Oh.
And all of a sudden he didn't have an audience anymore because that was his brand. So really, like, be passionate about what you're doing, and the audience will find it. There's a guy that I follow that I can't tell if he's real or not, but he calls himself he's an artisan pencil sharpener. I don't know if anybody watched. He literally just sits there with a razor and talks about pencils and sharpens them with a razor, and he like talks about all the different. I can't tell if he's real. I don't know, but I love it.
I want to believe that there is someone out there that is like pencils.
He's an artisanal pencil sharpener.
Yes.
And it's the most fascinating thing I've ever seen in my life.
You hear this all the time, find your niche.
Yeah.
Which is really important.
And you wouldn't think, but like those people who do like the power washing.
Yes.
It's mesmerizing. You're like, it's so clean. And these guys are just power washing. So yeah, find your niche. Yeah, absolutely.
Do I know anything about artisanal pencils?
No.
But I will watch every single video that comes out.
You're gonna have to share that with me. I want to watch it now.
It's amazing.
It's phenomenal.
And I cannot tell if he's actually a real pencil sharpener or if this is like a thing, but I don't care at this point.
I think it can be really difficult too to deliver a consistent message, and you will get bored and you will get frustrated with it. But you have to remember that there are people. I guess there was one person who was like, have a cup of coffee with me every morning, and then that turned into like a coffee brand. Mm-hmm. But what that person has to remember is that people are waking up and they're connecting with that person every morning. It's becoming a part of their routine. So you are delivering this consistent thing for people who desperately need consistency. So it's really important to stick with your whatever you've chosen to do and to stick with it. And a lot of times you hear this all the time, keep it simple, stupid, meaning you don't have to upgrade your message or evolve your message in any way. You just have to deliver it at a constant clip.
Yeah. And whatever clip is comfortable for you. Like, because there's I think a professional level, like you were saying, like 3 times a day.
Yeah, that's recommended. I don't know if that's like going to guarantee anything, but it's a good practice to get into because you are putting stuff out there, and 1 out of 10 things is going to do better than everything else.
Yeah, I mean, like, I had some life stuff happen this year. Once a month was all I could do, so that's what I did.
But you still put something out.
Sure.
And that's
right,
key.
and that's it. It's like do what you can.
Sure.
Don't burden yourself over it if that's what you can't do. Because I mean, I've had a lot of friends burn out of just being like, I can't do.
Oh, I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate doing any of it, all of it. I dislike it so much. And then when I tour, I can't do any TikToks because it's just I'm doing too much. And you only have so much you can give every day. You only have much steam in the teapot or the kettle, and so it's like you only have so much that you can give, and you have to kind of ration yourself out in a wise way because you only have so much, and you will eventually burn out.
Yeah. And the phrase I think I heard last week from a lot of people, or this year's phraseology was the microphone doesn't lie. And it's the same for the camera. If you're doing
it can hear when you're depressed. It can hear when you're happy, and it's such a better record if there's like a light and a joy inside of you.
Yes.
Yeah. So you gotta preserve your sanity.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mental health is important.
Yes.
I know. We got the 15-minute warning a few minutes ago. We'll do a soft poll. Do people have questions that they would like to ask? Raise your hand, kind of just as a.
There is a microphone up here.
Yes.
So you can come.
There's only a couple. All right, so
Okay.
we'll do a couple.
Just make
if no
sure
one
you
has-
line up.
I have more questions.
And is someone getting questions from
Hold on.
Twitch?
Do we have Twitch questions?
Yeah.
Okay,
So just make sure you line up to the left because there is a camera behind you for.
As people are
Hello,
lining
online.
up, throw me the Twitch question real quick.
I didn't even know we were streaming on Twitch.
We are streaming on Twitch, so that is the camera right there. So everybody say hi online. So we just gotta be careful with that.
Oh, I get the
Oh,
phone. All right,
okay.
so we'll see that Twitch question real quick. First, what about the pectin-based no menthol cough drops? Usually cherry. Has anyone used those?
I don't use cough drops or lozenges, particularly because they tend to be really high in sugar and very sticky.
Yes.
And so if you have that like right after your throat may feel better, but then like it's going to be
Yeah, it's very phlegmy.
it's going to be really sticky. So I would say no to those. They're almost like a gummy lozenge. It's a black currant, and I think they're called Grethers. I will have to.
Girthers would be an interesting choice.
It's not 10 o'clock yet. But it's a particular brand. It's been around for a long time, but they're almost like soft lozenges, and it's a black currant flavor, and that's really good. It doesn't make your voice sticky, but it also is really, really soothing to the voice. But I would stay away from like regular lozenges.
Anyone else on the lozenge
Sorry,
front?
that was.
Hi.
I'm looking it up.
Is this
Okay.
one?
What is it? No.
Or is it this one?
Uh-uh.
I've seen those at the shop where you can only use in cash.
It's, can I type it in?
I couldn't find it.
Oh, okay.
Might be Grethers?
All right. Well, if you find the name for it,
It's okay, we'll just collaborate.
Yes, we're collaborating.
To our questions.
Hello. I'm also heavy metal
There it is.
vocalist and harsh
We found
vocals,
it.
but I just look like a normal dude. And I
Yeah.
thought about more
No, I
like
love it.
a character type thing. So my question is, when you voice actor a character, how do you like figure out what voice you're going to use for it? Like, because I want to sound differently, and I don't want to sound like everybody
Okay,
else.
I'm gonna refrain.
The,
I'm like, I have
whoever
thought, but
sends
yeah.
you like the role, a lot of times they will have a idea, and for myself, I'll do a couple different takes of what I'm thinking they're going with, because I was sitting like this most recent role that I'm getting ready to do. I sent my 5 different versions of what I thought they were going. They were like, yeah, the third one. I'm like, okay, that's what you're visioning, because what you think in your head may not be what the direction they're visualizing the voice to be. So I would say just do different variants, because they'll say, okay, I want this to be a 10-year-old girl that's really scared. And you're like, okay. And, you have to, do different sounds to it. And they're like, okay, yeah, that's the one. But use that as your base, and then play around with that parameter that they give you. And a lot of times, maybe your normal voice that they're like, that is the voice. And you're just like, my regular voice? I did not like it growing up. You like it?
Sometimes
Okay.
it's good to try everything out, because a lot of times you're not given a lot of dialogue,
Yes.
so it doesn't
Yeah.
take a lot of time to do 5 different versions of one page of
Yes.
dialogue, and save that for yourself, and then listen to your gut. Your gut is really smart, and it'll let you know when you've got something or when you don't.
I got a piece of advice once that was, do what they give you in the description. Usually there's a description of the character, what's going on. Do that, and then do what, because sometimes like that's what they think they want, and sometimes they don't know what they want until they hear it, which is counterproductive. So it's like, give them what they want, and then like the next take, or like you do 2 or 3, so like the next take or 2, do something that you're like, I think they might want that. Like, again, go with your gut. Like,
Yeah.
try, be intuitive about it.
Okay.
So just kind of feel it out.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
It's all out of woo.
Yes.
Misty, did you? I saw you
Oh,
open your
I was
mouth real
just
quick.
I was gonna say, a lot of times they'll give you sound like what they're looking
Oh.
for. They'll
Yes.
give you like what celebrities they're looking for, what voices they're looking for. So
Yeah.
you can aim in that general direction. But to your point, a lot of times we don't know what we're looking for. So just play around. Like go with what they think they want, and then a couple variations. And a lot of times, once you get into the room, the voice director and you will work it out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if this might sound silly, but if you get to do a 3 reading, like ABC, 3 takes, do what they want, do you, and then do something that makes you laugh.
Yes.
Because if you can make a casting director laugh,
They'll remember you.
They'll
Yes.
freaking remember you.
Even if it's not for that project, they
Yeah,
might remember
like,
you for a future
yeah,
one, and
that
then it'll
guy's
show
fun.
your range.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You like just did a mini audition for them, and like a full range. You gave them like more than they even were asking for.
Yes.
And also remember, the people are casting like not just you, but like 4 or 5 different roles at a time, and they're looking for a range of different roles. So
Yes.
like, I remember one time we were casting 4 or 5 different 5 different women or 5 different girls. So we had to have like a low voice, a high voice, a medium voice, a squeaky voice, like a bunch of different voices. So even though it was 5 women that we were casting, we were looking all up and down because otherwise they would all sound the same. So definitely play.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
And we found the cough drops.
We did. It's called Grethers, Grether, and they do have a sugar-free version.
Yes.
For anybody who has that issue. But yes, it is those of Grether''S.
Yes.
Yeah, no, if
And
you're
it's a
slightly dyslexic,
goldish
it looks like the way I said it.
tin with blue. So this
We got
is
5
it.
Yeah,
minutes.
it's a gold
5 minutes,
tin.
okay.
It's a little gold tin. Sorry.
Yep.
How's it going? My name is Steve, and I have a quick question for you guys. It's after going off of his mention about not liking your voice growing up. I actually went to a seminar a few conventions ago in Vegas, and the best advice they gave me was different equals good. Casting directors are looking for the next voice, uniqueness,
Yeah.
not the same person 5 times.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you guys.
Yeah,
Thank
correct.
you.
No,
You're
they were
right.
like, yeah, correct.
No, your voice is awesome.
Yes.
And never
Sound like you. You are you, and no
Yes.
one can replicate that.
Thank you guys.
Might be a little bit of a redundant question, but you just said sound like you. As somebody who has also kind of smoked, and before, I don't now, but I've just, my vocal cords, I have a rasp to my voice. And one of the things I'm struggling with right now is finding the different voices that I can do, because even though, like my buddy will be like, oh, that sounds completely different. To me, I'm like, I still sound like that raspy guy. I'm in my nasal register, but tips and tricks for maybe finding the voices you're capable of.
Are you recording yourself and then hearing yourself back, or are you just listening to yourself in your head when you're talking?
I'm listening to myself back, so.
Okay, when you record, play around with different physical body placements. So kind of, it's odd, but there's actually about 8 different placements in the body. You can push your voice. 2 bonus ones, but those can be a little tricky. But like most people can hit 8. And it starts at the top of the head, it's the eyes, adenoidal, nasal, mouth, I do have links for
Okay,
people.
yeah, I'm gonna
but
get
it's just kind of playing around and pushing your voice in different directions, recording that. And when you find that placement, it's then you can go back because it's a physical sensation.
Yeah.
So you can hit that head voice because oh, okay, it hits. It's like right here.
It's okay to be that one thing too. That is also can be your niche. Like Mark Maron, he plays a snake in Bad Guys 2. He can't do anything else but that voice. And so many people who are succeeding in voiceover acting are only one thing. Jack Black is one thing. I mean, he has an amazing register. He can do all kinds of stuff with Jack Black's voice, but that's the voice that he's doing.
Yes.
And so sometimes you have to just be
Lean
okay
in.
with yourself and be okay with
Yes.
what time is done to you, and be like, this is me, and I don't have to be 10 different things. It may limit the amount of work you get, but
Yeah.
you also might be perfect for that one
Yeah,
particular
you see
part.
that with
Sometimes- lean
Keith
in.
David,
Yeah.
Chris Summer. They tend to stay in their same registry. So, but they're constantly sought out because of their unique sound and everything. So that may be your niche.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Hello.
Hello. I just had something I was a little bit curious about voice acting with multiple accents or characters in like audiobooks or podcasts or like short form content. Like, how do you go back and forth between all these different voices and stop them from like bleeding over or like keeping them straight or whatever? I was always
Are you recording yourself
I'm not
or on like
personally,
video?
but like
Because typically when like you're doing a script and I'm, let's say like all of us are in a show together, we record separately.
Yes.
Or if I'm doing like 2 characters, I'm going to do the lines of one and then go back and do the lines of the second one. So I stay in that
think
headspace.
Justin did that on Rick and Morty. He would go back and forth in the record, but that is like
That's
extremely
practice.
rare, and that's just because they probably didn't want to do 2 sessions, and he was just being a rich asshole and wanted to like be like yada yada yada. Let's get out of here. I got to hit the links. But that's not how it's done. It's always read one thing at a time
Yep.
and then edited later.
okay, thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
I had a question about whenever I try to do a voice, allergies, like she said, along with asthma, my throat gets extremely irritated. Do you have any potential solutions for that, if I may ask?
Steam.
Steam.
Yeah.
Hot tea.
Hot tea or warm, not like
Warm
super
tea.
hot.
Not scalding hot, but
yeah,
yeah.
scalding hot.
Don't record if you're not feeling well.
Yes.
And make sure you're drinking lots of water, and then take a shower beforehand, and hang out in the hot shower before
You
you
can even
go
get those
record.
little like steamers. It's like a eucalyptus
Yes,
mints,
yes,
and
yes.
that can help kind of open things up. I know it's so frustrating because antihistamines actually kind of dry you out, which is bad for voice. Drinking water on a regular basis, because if you drink water right before, all you're doing is like putting water in your stomach. So like a day or two before, I just always drink water because you need the water in your body, and it's going to take like at minimum 45 minutes to even start hydrating. So that can help. Also a neti pot. I don't know if a neti pot or like the saline solutions that can kind of help flush out your nasal passages, especially with like seasonal allergies or allergies in general. So, yeah.
Don't go outside. Be a hermit.
Yes.
Hey, introvert.
Get an air filter and like a small one, but also like change the air filters in your house or apartment.
Yes.
If you need
I'm
a
allergic to
humidifier.
everything in Texas.
Hey.
I had a test and they're like, "You're dead, man." So
yeah.
be on a hermit.
We got 1 minute.
1 minute. All right, let's do it.
All right, quick. I'm a software developer.
Cool.
I would never quit my day job, but the economy is like crazy, so I was also wondering, is there viability in voice work as supplemental or part-time?
There can be.
I mean, even the people that are doing well are getting underpaid, and the work is few and far between. It's really like people who have created their own things and have to create that thing on a regular clip that are probably doing well. I think like if auditioning and trying to get work, and people that are succeeding and kicking ass, even the most like well-received people or the most popular people, they're still getting underpaid.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's scale. It's very small amounts of money that definitely won't even pay your bills that month. So it doesn't take a lot of time to do. You can do it before or after work. Hold on to that job but still pursue what you want to pursue.
It's a lot of work, and sometimes without you don't get much back, but you do it because you can't not do it. It's a labor of love. It literally is. It's a labor of love. But you end up finding those projects that even if it's just a passion project for everybody, you still at the end you have a finished product, like an audio drama, a podcast. Like the small indie projects are wonderful because it keeps you active. It keeps you in the mindset, in the community. So those are wonderful. Like right now, podcasts, obviously in the digital media track, but podcasts have been great. It's like that old-fashioned radio show is coming back, and people are consuming it because it's not AI. It's done by people who are passionate about the genre. They are passionate about writing, and they get all their nerd friends in on it who are voice actors. I'm speaking from experience. I was going to say I actually have a promo material for an audio drama I was just in. So, I would say it's a bit of a double-edged sword, and I don't want to be like all nihilistic about like it's awful.
Yeah.
Well, but to just be honest about it,
It's a lot of work to get work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
For every job you get, you probably have auditioned for 20, 30, 40, 50 more that you did not.
Oh, and that's if you're highly desirable.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's a lot of
Some of us,
investment
it's
for
hundreds.
very little return.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cool. When we're at time, thank you so much. Appreciate you all for being on the panel.
Yes.
Have a great Dragon Con.
So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will.
If this the land of the free, it was a freedom then. When they annexed Hawaii and called it Cedar Lands, without any type of payment and no signing off. Called themselves a republic in 1894. 1.2 million acres overtaken from the native Hawaiians. When they resisted, the West retaliated in violence and erasure. The Hawaiian language is banned as part of colonialism's plan to expand,
Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe as a part of their ongoing war with Asia. Used it as a place for target practice.
No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. Network out for all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell. Even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell. Even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. We will.
So if you put Hawaii into perspective, well, Black and Asian history is interconnected. Considering the fight with the Pacific, then of course versus Asia, they was treated as a middleman for war, but didn't let the Western colorism run its course. Cause dark skin was a sign of dignity to core. The land was taken in the name of capitalism, when prior to it was an actual kingdom. Clap back at the system.
Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe. As a part of their ongoing war with Asia, used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. Network out for all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell. Even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell. Even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. So many stories left to tell. Even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell. Even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. We will.